She's probably gonna smell like old fabric and industrial glue. I bet she didn't even have time to get ready.
The guests laughed at the groom's bitter comment about his ex-girlfriend, the seamstress, whom he had made a point of inviting to his millionaire wedding. But when she walked through that door, no one was ready for what was about to happen. Watch this story. When Diana Carter, with fingers marked by sewing needles and years of hard work, received the golden envelope with embossed letters announcing Ethan Morgan's wedding, she felt a knot in her chest. Ethan, the man she had loved for 8 years, the man she had supported, encouraged, and believed in, the same man who left her the moment he started rising to the top. Ethan was now a marketing director for an international luxury brand, engaged to a famous influencer. The invitation wasn't kind, it was a slap in the face. "I want her to come," Ethan told his friends, "so everyone can see where I came from." They laughed, toasting with imported champagne. What Ethan didn't know was that Diana was no longer the same. Ethan and Diana met at 22 in a cheap co-working space. He was trying to start a digital agency. She altered clothes to survive while studying fashion. Diana believed in him when no one else did. When he ran out of clients, she was the one who paid the rent, sewing all night long. When he needed to invest in equipment, she sold her own industrial sewing machine and lent him $500. When he needed to impress clients, she created presentations, slogans, and strategies. She worked during the day, studied at night, and helped Ethan until dawn. He took it all as if it were his right, until the money came, until the events came, until Diana no longer fit his image. At an advertising event, an executive asked what his girlfriend did.
Does she work with clothes? Is she a stylist, a designer?
A seamstress. I'm a seamstress.
As she was about to leave, Ethan snapped. He said he was ashamed of her and that she wasn't on his level. A week later, he ended everything with a voice message. Then he blocked her. He disappeared. Diana cried, she broke, and then she started over. She rented a tiny room, bought used machines, started creating her own pieces. Her talent spoke loudly. Her clothes appeared in magazines, then on small runways, then on celebrities. In 5 years, she became the owner of a high-end, sustainable fashion brand, with international sales, her own factory, and hundreds of employees. When the invitation arrived, Diana felt a tightness in her chest, but she decided to go. Ethan thought she was still hemming clothes. When she arrived at the wedding, the entire room fell silent. She walked in wearing a floor-length ivory dress. No brand label on the outside. She was the brand. Her hair was pinned up with quiet elegance. Her shoes were handcrafted, made in her own factory, by her own team. The same fingers that Ethan had once been ashamed of had designed every single detail of what she was wearing that night. The room didn't just go silent, it stared. Women pulled out their phones. A few guests whispered to each other, trying to place her face, because they had seen it before, on magazine covers, on Fashion Week front rows, on the Forbes 30 under 40 list, published 3 months earlier. Ethan saw her from across the room, and for the first time in years, he had nothing to say. His new fiancée grabbed his arm and leaned in. "Who is she?" He didn't answer. Diana walked through the room with the calm of someone who had already won before arriving. She greeted a few guests, smiled genuinely, and found her seat. It was only then that Ethan approached.
Diana, I'm glad you came. You look different.
I am different, Ethan.
I heard things are going well for you. The fashion thing.
Yes, the fashion thing.
Listen, I've been thinking what we had was special. I wasn't ready back then. I made mistakes.
You didn't make mistakes, Ethan. You made a choice. And that choice gave me myself back. Congratulations on your wedding. I truly mean that.
She left before the first dance. She had an early flight, Paris Fashion Week. The people who underestimate you are often the ones who needed you the most. Never let someone else's shame become your story. Diana didn't go back to prove anything to Ethan. She went back to prove something to herself, that she had healed, moved on, and outgrown the version of herself that once waited for his approval. Your greatest comeback is never about them. It's always about you. Have you ever been underestimated by someone who later regretted it? Comment I rose below and share this with someone who needs to remember that the right people will never make you feel small.